So I might not talk for a little bit, huh?
What's that?
I might not talk for a little bit, huh?
It's going to be about 10 minutes, right after the first break. How old are you?
Hmm?
How old are you now?
17.
Just like that. Oh yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is another episode of the Project Grow Radio Show. We have a great show tuned in for you. Thank you guys for tuning in with us and listening. It's been a crazy week, so I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff today. I got a lot to share and a lot on my heart, and it's going to be a very heartfelt episode, I could say that. So this was definitely a very challenging week for me. I had some new revelations over the weekend at church and spent a lot of time on my hands and knees, and really the Holy Spirit kind of fell on the whole church this weekend, and people were being healed, and it's just been a really crazy last 7 days since we last talked on the show, and I just want to share some of that with you guys today to kind of open up the show, and then I'm going to go into a little bit about some WordPress issues that are going on in the marketplace that I just found out about, and then I want to talk a little bit about the relationships, and then we're going to get to 2 interviews that we have. They're amazing interviews to 2 talented, very talented people that I've worked with over the years now, and one of them not as long as the other, but I have a partner that I've worked with now for quite a few years doing websites and graphics, and I actually developed their brand, and so we're going to have him on the show. His name is Tutor, and then we're also going to have a good buddy of mine and just this young genius. His name's Spencer Farman. He's a really, really genius guy, and he owns a company called Photobooths. I met him about a year ago, and he owns this company, but he was 16 years old. He's now 17. So we're going to meet with him, talk a little bit about what it's like to be a young entrepreneur, and I know what that's like. I started at a really young age too, so he's going to share a little bit of his story, and we're just going to have a good show today. So the first thing I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about is this Keylogger as they call it. It's a malware software. So I was doing some research on WordPress security. It's kind of a big area that I've been trying to focus a lot of my attention on as we build so many WordPress websites. The security plugins that we were using before, which was called WordFence, I got notified that they were disapproved by our host, by the hosting company, and that's a pretty big deal. When you have a plugin that's on your site that you know is a really good plugin, and all of a sudden it gets disallowed and they remove it from your WordPress site, you're like, what the heck is going on? So I dug in, did a little bit of research on their forums, and started researching security of WordPress, and just really trying to learn more and more about it as time goes on, and stay up to date with everything. But I found out that WordFence was actually running alongside of WP Engine, which is who we use and who we sell. We offer these packages to people for $19 a month for WordPress hosting, and it's the best hosting that's out there. I mean, WP Engine, if you look them up in the news, they just got a huge, like $250 million investment for their company, so they're going to be growing substantially. The WordPress market is huge. There's so many WordPress websites out there, and they have a big percentage of those under them already. So if you're not using a really good host with a content delivery network like WP Engine, I would really suggest taking a look at that. I can help you get that set up, save you some money on their packages, about 50% actually. So that's a really big deal. You got to have good security. So they disallowed my WordFence plugins that we had been using on all of our sites because all of the security features that they offer are exactly the same as the WordFence features. I mean, literally everything from brute force attacks to daily backups to phishing to all the different things that happen to WordPress websites, people trying to hack them. WP Engine already has that incorporated into it. So there was no need for me to spend, because we actually paid for the WordFence security plugin for the licenses per year, and it can get pretty pricey for each website. So that's actually been able to save our customers some money by not having to have that plugin anymore. So we're really taking advantage of that. I'm looking more and more into the security of WP Engine and what they really carry. But there's a really important plugin and malware that's been running on these WordPress websites, and it's not just a few. There's actually over 2,000 of them as of Monday, and even in December it was actually 5,500. But a lot of those have been taken care of. So more than 2,000 WordPress websites are injected with this malware. Keylogger is basically what it is. And researchers last week, they said that this malware logs usernames and passwords of the users of the site. So basically, they're getting access to, private information, and depending on the website, it could be credit card information, payment information, sensitive information, like maybe even their social security numbers. Someone has a financial website where people are logging in and putting their information in there. It's vulnerable with this malware that's on the site. And then what happens is this malware is actually installing a cryptocurrency miner. So we've talked a lot about cryptocurrency on the show, and I've talked about the different types of cryptocurrencies, but I haven't really talked too much about the mining side of cryptocurrency. There's people that are mining it, and they're basically using their computer's power and their energy to mine and basically run these processes and harvest more of these Ethereums or Bitcoins and things like that. I have a friend at my office that we work with that actually has a radio show as well, and he was telling me that he runs Ethereum on his computer that he has, and it's pretty much going 24/7. He even showed me a screen share, and he makes like about one Ethereum coin per month off of that. So he's producing some income and some revenues off that. But these guys are using cryptocurrency for bad methods, and that's kind of like the dark side of cryptocurrency. Is they're extorting money from people and using these people's hosting and their servers to run this system and mine for cryptocurrency. And what it does is this package actually anonymously runs in the background of these visitors. So once you visit one of these websites, it'll install it onto your computer and then use your computer to mine Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. They didn't name any specific cryptocurrency, but it used it to mine that. So that's a pretty big deal. I mean, the vulnerability of your site, and now they're using your computer power. That's costing you money there. Your information, your private information is at risk. So, those are really important things to fix. But it looks like this website, public www, as of Monday, like I said, they showed up as 2,200 or 2,092 websites, and then another company called Sucuri, SUCURI, has said that same exact malicious software was found running on more than 5,500 websites, and WordPress websites specifically. So, and the majority of those, fortunately, were removed. So back in December, they found out, and then there's a company called Cloudflare Solutions. They were shut down, and those malicious scripts were taken down at the same time. So it's a pretty crazy thing to think about, of your computer, when you don't even know it, being used to make other people money. That's kind of a crazy concept there alone. So I wasn't even aware that was possible, but there's just some crazy technology, crazy hacking, crazy malware you just got to be really cautious of, and that's really something that I'm trying to become better and better at every day, is learning more about security of websites and security of apps, and it's just really important to protect your users, your customers, your clients' information on your websites. So that's it for the keyword logger. I hope you guys, if you do have a WordPress website, you take a look at that, make sure that you're not on one of those sites, and if you need some help identifying that, the best way that I think I would probably do it if it was myself and I found out I had that running is I would just migrate my site to a completely different host like WP Engine or something that's going to be a lot safer. So let's keep moving forward. So the book of the week that I wanted to talk to you guys about is a book that I was actually listening to. I do audiobooks pretty often, and I was listening to this book. One of my buddies that was here on the show last week, Brandon Leone, he's an amazing guy. You heard him talking about healing people. He actually is really big into the healing, but the one thing that stands out to me about him, and I actually made a joke over the weekend at church about it, but the guy's always asking questions. He hardly ever has a conversation. He just basically asks questions all the time. And so we were prompted, my fiance brought up this book, Good Leaders Ask Great Questions by John C. Maxwell. So we listened to it for about an hour, hour and a half, and I was really blown away by that book. It's a pretty profound book. And John C. Maxwell, obviously, he's published, I think in the book he was saying he's published like over 200 books now, an incredible amount of books. So he's very well educated and knows his stuff. And a lot of the questions he has, you ask people, are just really helpful of getting to the source of what people's issues are, what they really want, what they really desire with their life. And I think that's a really good book that you guys should check out. So you can get it on Audible, and you can also get it on, in hardcover at the bookstore, but that's something I would definitely take a look at. The quote of the week, and I'm doing this at the very beginning of the show, I've kind of mixed it up, but it was actually a quote that was said in that book, but it's not by him. He just quoted it, and it's, "How people treat you is their karma, and how you react is yours." And that's by Wayne W. Dyer. And that quote really applies to this week and kind of what I'm going to talk about on the show, which is relationships. So When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more, but then we're going to introduce Spencer. So thank you guys, and talk to you in a bit. Was I talking too fast? Was I talking too fast? Okay.
How long is this break? How long is this break?
It's like 3 minutes.
I'll go grab that as well.
If you can, yeah, you have time.
Sure.
Yeah, you have time. What's that? Austin. Yeah.
Mr. Crawford, trusted real estate expert of the Project Grow radio show, and I can't wait to partner with you.
Hi, I'm Adrian Boycell, and this is your business man. In life and in business, you're going to come across a lot of different types of personalities. Some of those personalities will be a lot more challenging than others to get along with, whether a client or an employee. Learning how to spot these people is an important part in avoiding a lot of future conflict and saving yourself money, time, and even heart. If it's a potential employee, you need to keep in mind that you'll be spending a lot of time around them. Who you surround yourself with is who you will become. Here are 3 tips that I can share with you today. Number 1, personality test every person in the interview process. Knowing the personality type of a person can really help you identify what their strengths are and pinpoint their weaknesses. Tools like 16personalities.com is a fun way to get to know someone. Number 2, actions speak louder than words. And just because someone says that they have your best interest at heart, that doesn't make it true. They may just be telling you what you want to do. Watch what they do, not what they say. Do they follow through with the task you assign, or ignore your request? And number 3, don't minimize or avoid their mistakes. If you let them get away with something repeatedly, then that's on you. It's important for every business to hold their team accountable and come up with a solution so it doesn't happen again. This has been your Business Minute. I'm Adrian Boycell, and as always, keep looking up.
Handling payroll, workers' comp, and HR yourself is a big one. If done incorrectly, it can cost you thousands of dollars and often dollars. You need a reliable company that will help you in all of these areas, and there is no better company than WordPress.
No call
Family
yet.
owned and operated, Jennifer and Scott will provide the highest quality service at a price you can afford. Call WordPress now at 888-915-0806 or visit them online at ppfsp.com.
Hi, I'm Adrian Boycell with Adrian Graphics. Believe it or not, the internet is almost as complicated as the human body.
We can talk with him first, and then we can go to Spencer and finish out the show with Spencer.
Just like a doctor, like taking care about you and your business. For it to succeed in 2018, you must know how to harness the internet. I've been working on the internet since its first inception and at a very young age. Whether it's an app, a website, or a landing page, or even an advertising campaign, I can help you achieve the results that you truly need. At the end of the day, it's all about return on investment. And the internet is such a crowded place. In order for you to stand out, you need to have a unique and special identity. I can not only help you create your special identity, but enhance it. And I will also help you harness the power of the internet to make you money. All you got to do is pick up the phone and dial me at 877-801-1991. That's 877
I'll let you know when he's back.
801-1991. Or visit our website at adriangraphics.com.
Funny 1055.
Oh yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back. You are listening to the Project Grow radio show. We talk about faith, leadership, marketing, and technology. If this is your first time listening in, thank you for checking us out. We have an exciting show going on. I have a couple special guests that I have on the show today, Austin Tutor of Pro Leads and Spencer Farman of Apex Photobooths. So we're going to be chatting with them here in just a few minutes. We're waiting for Austin to get on the line with us here, but I want to continue on from kind of what I was talking about before and just talking a little bit about the relationships and kind of what I wanted to bring up with this show. And so my main focus of today's show is really currency of relationships, relationship currency. and the value behind that. And so this week was a really challenging week. I had to take a hard look at my relationships and the people that I've been working with and who I was putting my faith in. And it was really challenging. And, it's one of those things, as a business owner, you're going to have those really great weeks. Like, the last 12 weeks of the show have just been unbelievably fun and incredible. And it's been a high. And having Jesus infused in all of this with me is just, it's just so much more gratifying that way. And so now I'm really trying to infuse him even more. And when I was at church, I had kind of this word of wisdom that he wanted me to intertwine him with everything. So all the different topics that I have are really going to be intertwined with him, whether it's business, technology, and leadership. I think all those things really apply to him. And I know I've done a pretty good job so far of kind of keeping him incorporated, but I'm trying to do that even more now. So looks like we got Austin on the line. We're going to go ahead and introduce him. Austin's with Pro Leads, and you with us? Heck yeah, bro. It's good to have you here. I'm really excited that you're able to make it, and I know you're a super busy guy, but I just wanted to spend some time with you and kind of talk a little bit about what you're doing and the relationship side of the business. That's a really important, part of what we do. Without relationships, we really got nothing. So I think I had a few questions for you, but let's first introduce you and kind of maybe a little bit of our history. So you and I worked together, and we met in an online Facebook group of all places, and immediately hit it off. And we've done now a bunch of different projects together. But I helped you with your branding, and you've helped me with web development and even some app development. And we've just had a really good relationship, and I feel like it's served both of us really, really well. Exactly. So one of the questions I had for you was, let me bring this up here, was how do you usually build rapport with your clients, either a new client or someone that was referred to you? What's your process? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Smart. Yeah, you're focusing on their needs and you're focusing on the benefits to them rather than the features. Yeah, that's definitely something that I try to do a lot, and I'm probably more guilty of it than most people. I tend to get really excited when I meet somebody because I'm so excited to help them with their business, and I can talk, and I have to like put myself in check and close my mouth and let them talk and share more about their business so I can really get to know them and they can feel like they're heard. Yep. No, that's very true. Yeah, keeping a relationship long term is about serving their needs and delivering them value, and then a big part of it is honoring what you said you're going to do. And no one's perfect, and I've run up against challenges over the years of over promising and under delivering. But that's something I put a lot of effort and energy into changing about my business. It's just I'm a people pleaser. That's just something that we tend to do, and I did it early on. I don't do it obviously as much now. I try to under promise and over deliver. That's really my main focus. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean by over promising and under delivering. Is like, oh yeah, I'll figure that out for you, and you spend 5 weeks on something that you could have spent, you said no to, and you could have spent that time doing something way more productive. Exactly. And I mean, coming from a print world, I had a customer the other day that contacted me from the Chamber of Commerce, and they wanted me to do wedding invitations for them. And I'm like, I've done wedding invitations in the past, and I actually met with them at their location and sat down and gave them like an hour of my time. And I really just felt like it wasn't the right fit for us, but I didn't want to lose the relationship and just tell them, sorry, I can't help you. So I contacted a friend of mine that does wedding invitations and referred her, and then I just talked to her earlier this week. She's like, yeah, we did a deal. I'm doing all the invites. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you a bunch of business, and you can refer me more people that do what I do, and I can refer you more people. So that's where the value of those relationships. I helped her, and now it's going to bring us more business in the long term. So it's really worked out for everybody, including the original client who wanted the wedding invitations done the right way. Yeah. So thank you. So the second question I had for you was, how do you usually resolve conflicts with clients that come up? Because it's just part of business. You can't keep everybody happy. What's your approach to that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a big wear. And as you know, I had a rough week with that, and like I said, it's something that you have to just learn from and continue to move forward. And I know the kind of person that I am. I don't need validation from anybody. I love my clients. I love my people that work for me, and I treat everybody with respect. And I think that's really the key to it. Is if you treat them with dignity and respect, and you take care of them, then they're going to take care of you most of the time. Mhm. Yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree with that. So, I mean, when you run into those conflicts with clients, sometimes they're on our side. We have trouble understanding really what their needs are. We're humans, so we have troubles communicating at times. But when you run into it and it's not on your side and it's just purely a bad client trying to take advantage of the situation, what point do you fire a bad client? What's the kind of the line for you, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, that's powerful. And I think what came to my mind when you were talking about that was Tim Ferriss, and how in his book, The 4 Hour Work Week, he talks about the 80-20 rule, and how 80% of your headaches are coming from 20% of your clients, and 80% of your income is also coming from 20% of your clients. And so if you can eliminate those headaches, you'll have 80% of your work, but you'll still have the majority of your revenue. You only lose 20% of your revenue. So I think that's a really critical thing to keep in mind is that 80-20 rule. So, uh-huh. Exactly. Yep. Yep. I love that. Well, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll ask one more question, and then we'll talk a little bit about you. Thanks, brother.
Should fly. Should just fly. I know. I just look at the
On the Big Mountains Heating, Air, and Solar Traffic Center, Charlie Simons.
Thank you to Penny, one of our much beloved listeners, letting us know on our Lexus Sacramento traffic hotline, 830-3077, 80 heading westbound. She says she's stuck right in the middle of it and is backed up now all the way to Newcastle Road. Left lane blocked, 80 westbound at Horseshoe Bar Road is what's causing all that. And as you get closer to Roseville, you're slowing down again just past Rockland, and it's a stop-and-go situation because of an accident, 80 westbound, trying to get onto 65. Right lane blocked there. And across the top of town, 80 heading eastbound, an accident blocking the shoulder at Truxell. Now, if you see something you want to let us know about, let's the Sacramento Traffic Tip Line. I'm Charlie Simon.
Hey Dan, can you believe it's our 10-year anniversary of getting a great night's sleep?
I know, Trina. For 10 years, ZQuiet has been helping couples like us kick snoring out of bed. Think of the millions of lives we've changed.
And that all happened years before other snoring companies showed up on the scene. ZQuiet really started a revolution.
Hi, we're Dan and Trina. As the founders of ZQuiet, people often ask what sets us apart from the competition.
It's easy. Snoring was our problem, and we know what night after night of snoring does to a relationship. Visit getzquiet.com.
ZQuiet was developed to treat my snoring, and we realized there were other couples that were desperate for a simple and effective solution.
We're so proud that ZQuiet has become America's trusted name in snoring solutions.
Get ZQuiet and kick snoring out of bed forever.
Get $20 off the regular price when you text SLEEP to 246810 or go to getzquiet.com. Text SLEEP to 246810 or go to getzquiet.com and get $20 off today.
Do you dream about building a successful real estate business and don't know how to get to the next level? Are you thinking about buying or selling property? You need a partner who is a trusted authority in the real estate industry. I'm Krista Proctor, and it is my passion to propel people forward in achieving their real estate dreams. Whether you are a buyer, a seller, or even an agent in need of coaching, my team's attention to detail and our ability to predict outcomes will make the whole experience enjoyable. If you'd like to work with me, then now is the time. Call or text me at 877-707-6050 for a no-cost real estate roadmap consultation.
I wrote it like 5
My
times.
proven process is guaranteed to create a successful outcome for my clients.
Yeah.
We also have an agency ownership opportunity for realtors across the nation. Call or text me at 877-707-6050. I'm Krista Proctor, trusted real estate expert at the Project Grow radio show, and I can't wait to partner with you.
I'm passionate about our future generations, and I believe that the current model of partying is a destructive dead-end road. That's why a year ago, I dedicated my life and my time to supporting Lounge of Life. It's a nonprofit organization with a mission to help young people from falling into the destructive lifestyle of the current partying scene. College binge drinking and drug abuse is a huge epidemic, causing more than 1,800 deaths per year and 97,000 cases of abuse. I believe this is truly a problem worth fighting for. We started a fundraiser on GoFundMe to continue the progress and the efforts of our team to impact the community by providing education and what I feel is a much-needed alternative nightlife experience. So today, I'm asking all of my listeners for help. Go visit our GoFundMe campaign at gofundme.com/Lounge of Life. Make a generous donation, and I will announce all of the names of the top 25 donors. Again, that's gofundme.com/Lounge of Life. Thank you for your support.
Handling payroll, workers' comp, and HR yourself is a big risk. If done incorrectly, it can cost you thousands of dollars and thousands of hours. You need a reliable company that can help you in all of these areas, and there's no better company than Community Now. Family-owned and operated, Jennifer and Scott will provide the highest quality service out across the
I need to bring that up.
Call Community Now at 888-995-0806 or visit them online at ppsfood.com.
Money 1055.
Hey, everybody. It's the Project Grow radio show. I'm your host, Adrian Boisselle. I'm just playing. So we are back, and you're listening to the Project Grow radio show. Talk about faith, leadership, marketing, and technology. Real quick before we get back into it with our guest Austin, I just want to put this out there real quick. I've noticed through all of our analytics online that we have a huge, and when I say huge, like half of our listeners that are online streaming on apps are in Phoenix. So if you're in the Phoenix area and you're listening to our show, I would love to hear from you guys. I'd love to have you guys reach out to me, leave me a comment, drop me an email, pgradioshow@gmail.com or info@projectgrowradioshow.com. Reach out to me. I'd love to get to know who you are. I thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for checking us out. So we're going to get back to our interview with Austin. You still with me, brother? Right on, right on. So I had one last question for you. These questions are really good. The last one I had was, do you interact with your clients personally, or do you have members of your team dealing with them directly? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Small things. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. And there's been quite a few relationships with clients that I've had that I've personally interacted with, a majority of them, but every once in a while there'll be a client that one of my people really bonds with and has a great rapport. And I really believe that I kind of let them steer the ship and lead that client. And, every once in a while I get the whim to jump in there and try and, pitch them and introduce myself and stuff. But most of the time I kind of try to stay out of the relationship unless something comes up and there's some sort of a conflict that needs resolving. But I think that's a really powerful thing to do is not just be there when there's a conflict, but also make yourself known as your company gets bigger, just appreciating them and their business. Right? And the relationships. Exactly. I really believe in that. And that key word, you said it a few times, empowering, is such an important word. And as you're trying to scale your business and grow, you got to delegate things. And making people feel empowered is a really good way to make them feel like they can make some big decisions on their own and not have to have somebody breathing down their throat every few minutes. Yeah, you can't. Yep, you're going to burn out too, and that's not a good thing. So, well, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you if they want to reach you and talk to you about some of the stuff that you do, and tell them a little bit about what you do real quick. Just like us. Perfect. Exactly. And make sure you mention the Project Grow Radio Show if you contact him. So we would definitely want to do that. So thank you so much, Austin, for tuning in with us and being part of the show. I really appreciate it, and I really look forward to doing this with you again. All right, brother. Have a good day. All right. So we're going to get to our next interview, and that's with Spencer Farman of Apex Photobooths. He's a young entrepreneur. I met him when he was 16 years old, and I'm going to introduce him here. So Spencer, hello, buddy.
Hey, Adrian, how you doing?
Good, bro. It's really good to have you here.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's awesome. So he's here in studio with me, and we've known each other for a little while now, and have worked together pretty closely on a number of different projects. But he's got a photo booth business that's just been exploding. And I remember when you came to me, normally I'm a very encouraging person. I was like, photo booths? My aunt and uncle had a photo booth business, and they didn't do very well. I don't know about that, bro. Be careful. I was looking out for the kid and wanted to make sure he didn't throw his money away. But he went with it anyway, went with his gut, which is a great thing. And he's been really, really successful at it. So tell us a little bit about your photo booth business and what you've been doing with that.
Yeah, totally. So we've been around since August of last year. So we're a pretty new company. And we pretty much just set up photo booths, enclosed or open air booths at parties. But we also offer DJ services to anyone who needs them.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're slowly starting to branch out into a bunch of different party rental stuff. So we can do party equipment like tables and chairs, and we're also starting to do, like I said, DJ rentals. So we're starting to branch out, but we're mainly photo booth business.
Yeah, that's the bulk of your business. So obviously relationships, when we talked on the phone the other day, relationships have been such a crucial part of your business. What were you telling me the other day about someone that you was referred to you for a photo booth, and they ended up referring you a bunch of other work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's been a key role in my success over the past 6 months. And I would say mainly just like the way I treat other clients. And I treat it more as like a friendship encounter with people, and I try to steer clear from making my company seem like a business, more of like a friend. Which is
smart.
Yeah, it's a different tactic, I think. But like when I'm communicating with clients, when I'm sending emails and stuff, I use smiley faces sometimes. And sometimes I use exclamation points.
Very personalized.
Yeah, you can hear the enthusiasm through the emails and stuff. And I've been told before by some people that it's considered unprofessional, which, I mean, if you look at it in a blatant professional manner, you could absolutely say that.
Yeah.
But I've been testing, and what I've found is with a business like mine, where it's very personal, you're taking photos, you're getting in the photo booth and taking photos with people and you're trying to have fun, they are looking for more of an energetic and fun, uplifting kind of a personality, and so they don't necessarily want to hear that kind of static, businessy tone when they're talking to people. So it's a different approach, and some people don't necessarily trust it right away, but when I use it on clients, it tends to get the best results.
That's cool. And I've seen your photo booth setups. They're awesome. I have one sitting on my desk of my lady and I at the wedding for Joel. It was really cool to see you print that right out there on the spot. And I've only done that like 2 or 3 times before, so it's a fairly new thing for me. But I see the increase in the demand for it, and people are doing it all over the place. So it's a really great service that you're offering, and they're buying you. And at the end of the day, they're buying your energy and your experience and the photo booth stuff. So, and that comes across really, really well to people. It always has. So I have a couple questions for you, and things that I think will help other people that are similar to you. Where do you get your confidence from? Where did you get your confidence from to start your business so young?
That's an interesting question. For me personally, I think I've always been lucky in the way that I've had a lot of confidence growing up. But I think for business specifically, I remember the decision came about December of last year. I was just kind of struggling mentally, I was just like couldn't really find a place, and I was just trying to figure myself out, And I remember reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's the first book that I've ever read that really inspired me. And after reading it, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get stuck in the rat race. I want to make sure that I can provide for myself and I can live the life that I want to live.
Yeah.
And I think that inspiration
that was the spark,
was kind of my confidence in a way, because I was like, wow, this is, I could do so much with my life, but I have to make sure I'm confident. And so, for a while, especially the first few customers I contacted and the first times going out and trying to get a job, I was so nervous. You get the feeling deep in your stomach, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, blah, blah, blah. But very, very quickly I got over that. And it's kind of developed into a confidence that makes business seem a little easier.
That's neat. And I think that's really important because there's a lot of older listeners on the show, not as many young people, but I think for the parents that are listening to this, I mean, right there, he says it, and it's very clear. He read a book and got inspired, and reading and encouraging your kids to read, or even paying them to read a book, is how I've met so many entrepreneurs in their life that started with reading a book and picking up one motivational book, and that just triggered their whole career. So we're going to go to break, but we're going to wrap up this interview when we get back, and I'm going to close this out with our relationship currency topic, and we'll finish it up. So thanks, guys. See you in a minute.
Are you sick and tired of dealing with flaky graphic designers?
You're a little far, and you're doing this, so it's kind of going in and out a little bit. So if you just try it, it's hard. I do the same thing.
I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Design project done the same day. All you got to do is download it for free on the Google Play Store. There's live support and a ton of other resources to help you grow your business. Check it out at instagraphics.com or download the Instagraphics app for free on the Google Play Store.
Handling payroll, workers' comp, and HR yourself is a big risk. If done incorrectly, it can cost you thousands of dollars and agonizing audits. You need a reliable company that looks out for you in all of these areas, and there's no better company than Premier Personnel. Family-owned and operated, Jennifer and Scott will provide the highest quality service at a price you can afford. Call Premier Personnel at 888-915-0806 or visit them online.
For the show cover graphic that I make, it's like this.
Hi, I'm Adrian Boycell, and this is your Business Minute. In life and in business, you're going to come across a lot of different types of personalities. Some of those personalities
No, I did it at my studio where I normally do it.
To get along with, whether a client or an employee. Learning how to spot these people is an important part of avoiding a lot of future conflict and saving yourself money, time, and even heartache. If it's a potential employee, you need to keep in mind that you'll be spending a lot of time around. Who you surround yourself with is who you will become. Here are 3 tips that I can share with you today. Number 1, personality test every person in the interview process. Knowing the personality type of a person can really help you identify what their strengths are and pinpoint those weaknesses. Tools like 16personalities.com is a fun way to get to know someone. Number 2, actions speak louder than words. And just because someone says that they have your best interest at heart, that doesn't make it true. They may just be telling you what you want to hear. Watch what they do, not what they say. Do they follow through with the task you assign, or ignore your request? And number 3, don't minimize or avoid their mistakes. If you let them get away with something repeatedly, then that's on you. It's important for every business owner to hold their team accountable and come up with a solution so it doesn't happen again. This has been your Business Minute. I'm Adrian Boycell, and as always, keep looking up.
Do you dream about building a successful real estate business and don't know how to get to the next level? Are you thinking about buying or selling property? You need a partner who is a trusted authority in the real estate industry. I'm Krista Proctor, and it's my passion to propel people forward in achieving their real estate dreams. Whether you are a buyer, a seller, or even an agent in need of coaching, my team's attention to detail and our ability to predict outcomes will make the whole experience enjoyable. If you'd like to work with me, then now is the time. Call or text me at 877-707-6050 for a no-cost real estate roadmap consultation. My proven process is guaranteed to create a successful outcome for my clients. We also have an agency ownership opportunity for realtors across the nation. Call or text me at 877-707-6050. I'm Krista Proctor, trusted real estate expert of the Project Grow radio show, and I can't wait to partner with you.
Money 1055.
Hey, we're back, and it's the Project Grow radio show. I'm here in studio with Spencer Farman of Apex Photobooths, and we've been talking about relationships and his little journey in business so far in the last 6 months, and we just want to get back into it. I've got a series of questions I'm asking him, and we were just talking about what gave him the confidence, and he told me how he read a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that really kind of sparked his entrepreneurial spirit and has helped him a lot. Obviously, it's made a big change in your life, and has led to many other books, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I try to read as much as possible now.
Yeah, it's important. Very important. So the next question I have that I really liked, this one specifically, was what's the biggest lesson that you've learned so far in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh wow, yeah, that's a really good For me personally, the biggest lesson that I've been finding is an issue with a lot of people. It's just getting down and doing it, and that goes for I mean, obviously anything in life. But for me specifically, it was purchasing a photo booth, investing in myself, investing in time. Because for so long, I had worked in the industry, the photo booth rental industry, and I had been working as an employee for a company that's very similar to mine, and I was doing everything. I knew exactly how to run the business, but I was being paid like an employee. And for so long, I knew that if I got a photo booth, I would make it profitable, and I just knew it. But it was scary to spend the money and to invest so much into the business.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same for a lot of people. Because I have a lot of friends, especially as teenagers, we always come up with these ideas, these things that we think would be great for making money, and what if I start this? And, but what it comes down to is the people that actually decide to go through with it, and put their all into something. So I think that's been my biggest lesson is good value and just going for it.
Yeah, taking that risk. We had an episode 5-6 episodes ago all about risks and how important it is to step out and take that chance. Because you've got a short life and you don't want to have any regrets, man. What if you hadn't done it? Where would you be? You know what I mean? So I think that's a really critical takeaway from that is you just don't want to have any regrets. So that's a really good lesson. Okay, so how do you leverage the relationships that you have so far to grow your business?
That's a really good question. We're talking about this on the phone. For me personally, I've gotten, I work for a company very similar to yours where we build websites and stuff. And I've actually found a way to combine the clients that I've gotten with my photo booth business to the web development company. Just recently, I've sent a message out to anyone I've ever worked with. Another kind of a friendly message, exclamation points, smileys, all that silly stuff that ends up being really, really beneficial. And they all have a reputation, or I have a reputation in their minds of kind of being uplifting, but I've always shown up on time to any jobs, and so I'm considered trusted by them. Because they know that I've done a good job in the past. And I sent an email out to all of them. And I was like, hey, if you guys ever need web design work, or if you need anything like that, just let me know. I'm here for you guys. And I got a lot of responses, and I got a lot of meetings out of it. There's one tomorrow that I'm going to, and another one this weekend. Huge. So, and that just shows the way you treat your clients. It just opens so many doors. Yeah. Because I never would have considered even asking them for that had I not done a good job and made sure that they knew that I could be trusted.
Exactly. Well, I think that's all I'm going to be able to cover with you today. I wanted to talk a little bit about our age, but I think we're just going to have to do another show together. I think we'll save that for the next show, and overcoming the obstacles that are in front of business owners when you're selling, your age, and things like that. But I have a little bit of content I want to cover with you, and I just wanted to thank you so much, Spencer, for being a part of the show.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. So, as you know, like I was saying in the beginning, relationships are really, really critical. Strong relationships can help you recover from a mistake. I've learned that if you repeat a mistake over and over again, that relationship currency really diminishes, and pretty quickly, a lot faster than you would think. And so when you build relationship currency with people, to do that, you have to be spending time with them, you need to listen to them, and actually not just listen, but actually care. And that's the big thing for me is I really love people, I love what I do, I'm passionate about what I do, and so they see that, and that genuineness comes through. So I share my ideas with them. I really don't hold back anything with them. All the ideas and reading and everything, I love to share that information and knowledge with people because I want people's lives to be improved by the research and the time that I've invested into that. So relationship currency should be genuine. Like I said, it motivates people to work hard on your behalf. And if you're building relationships with the right people, they'll connect you with their friends, their colleagues, or even their family. And this has really been one of the biggest contributors, I'd say, to my decade-long career as a business owner. I've really tried to take care of people and do the right thing. And even when I've had opportunities to just take someone's money and build a website, I said, no, let me just do some consulting and get your business in the right place first before we do that. And I think that's really important to do, is just looking out for their best interests before your own. And really, if you're good at what you do and you work hard, they're going to refer you to a lot of their friends. But the key to that is you really have to ask. And aside from asking, you got to keep them in the loop. So you need to make sure that they know what's going on with the referral that they gave you, that you're taking care of their friend or their family or their colleague. That's a really, really important part of getting referrals, is one, asking, and then second, keeping the person that referred you in the loop. And I think I've talked about that a little bit before, but I've worked with thousands of people, over 4,000 people now in the last 10 years. And that's really what matters to me the most, is the relationships that I have. And, they're not always perfect. I've had struggles over the last 10 years in different situations, but I've come out learning a lot from those, and the relationships that I still do have, there's a lot of those today that have become a lot stronger in that time. So this has just been a really, really meaningful conversation, and I think I'm going to do another show about this relationship currency again, because there's just so much to talk about when it comes to relationships with clients and relationships with customers, and I almost want to pray on the air with you guys that the relationships that you guys have are flourish, and that they continue to grow, and you guys can continue to move in the right direction together, and anything that's not supposed to be there, that it goes away. So this has been a really great show. We're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute, but if you guys missed the show, I'd love to have you guys go back to my website, check out the website, projectgrowradio.com. Oh, and I almost forgot, we're now on Spotify. So I posted it on my Facebook page. I was all excited. We actually have the show now on Spotify, which is a really, really big deal. I've been trying to do that since the very beginning of the show, is get it approved on Spotify. And over the weekend, after watching a Todd White Miracles video, I got a notification that we are now on Spotify. So it's just been a huge blessing. We're only 13 weeks in. We're making some big impact, and I'm really trying to put the Lord and Jesus at the center of this entire show, and I really hope that comes across. So I love getting feedback from you guys. So if you guys want to go in and check out our Facebook page too, Project Grow Radio, and get connected with us there, I'd be happy to chat with you, and we could talk a little bit about relationships, and I'm going to post some of the details from this show on the page as well. So we'll be posting it up tonight, and then it'll be on Spotify. So if you want to listen to it again there, you can. So thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. This is the Project Grow Radio Show. I'm Adrian Boycell, and as always, keep looking up. Later, y'all.